Hi there, Stampers and Crafters, and welcome to our Techniques class today, where we are going to be playing with the brand new Stampin' Up Christmas Rose stamp set. I'm going to be creating 5 different cards with 5 different techniques, all using the same layout, the same colors, and they all come out beautiful and different. So you can pick which one you like the best. I'm also going to show you how to line this up on the Stamparatus and how to use the Stamparatus with some tips and tricks. So these are the cards that we're going to be creating today. They are coming out for customers on November 1st with the Christmas Time is Here suite. They are available now for demonstrators. If you're a demonstrator or would like to be, you can get this also in your demonstrator kit. They're a great suite of products. I'm going to show you the entire suite in just a second. But first, a quick shout out. If you love what you see today, if you love this suite, I do have a special card kit offer and bundle. It ends on October 31st, so you do need to purchase it before October 31st if you're interested in my card kit. You can do that now. The suite does come out November 1st, but my card kit offer will end the day before that. And since you're watching live, I'm giving some of this away. If you leave a comment here, I am giving away 1 Christmas Rose stamp set that we're using today, immediately following the live. And if you're not watching live, and you still leave a comment, you will be entered to win the entire bundle, which I'm going to be giving away on November 21st, just as a little way of saying thanks for watching. Okay, so here we go. This is the Christmas Time suite. It's gorgeous. So there is a little flyer on my blog. I do have a link in the video's description to get to this information and the class resource page that has everything we're doing today. Let's talk about what's in here and why this is the coolest stamp set ever. So I'm not just throwing that out there. It really is. It's cool and it's very different. So what makes it different? It's a 2-box set, and there is a line art image here that is the rose, and that is cling mount rubber. In the other box, there are these beautiful pieces that you can use together or separately. I'm going to show you both. And these pieces are photopolymer. They're clear, and they match and fit inside this, but they don't need to be used together. They can be used individually. There's also some beautiful sayings for Christmas, but can I just say, this is not limited to a Christmas set. In fact, the cards I'm doing today, I'm going to make for something else. So there's so many beautiful things you can do with it. It has a coordinating die set called roses. I cut out the pieces of the dies here so you could see them in action. They are beautiful. This piece is the rose. It cuts out the big rose here. And it also cuts out a big rose that's in the designer series paper, as well as there's some labels here that could be used with just about everything. And we've got different pieces here that can be used for accents on just about any card too. So very cool. Those are the two, the stamp set and the die bundle. And these are the actual dies. I think it's easier when you see the cutouts. It's hard to see it from the actual dies, but that's what they cut out. In addition to that, in the suite, there's also some very yummy and luscious gold shimmer ribbon. Everything's gold themed in the set. So we've got gold ribbon, we've got gold foil paper, and we've got gold glimmer dots. I've used a lot of mine already. So what's beautiful about this suite is that you can purchase these pieces individually as of November 1st. So they'll be available while they last. So some of these pieces that I'm showing you could sell out really fast. Some of them may be around for the entire month. Some of them may even carry over into December, but I have a feeling a few of these pieces that I'm showing you right now are going to sell out very fast. One of those pieces that I think is going to sell out very fast is this bracelet. This is called the Charming Rose bracelet. I'm actually wearing mine right now. It's my, it goes with my Alex and Ani's. It's like an Alex and Ani, but it's a charm bracelet, but I kind of like to showcase this separate than my other Alex and Ani's. And you can purchase this individually. There's a beautiful rose emblem here that matches the suite, and then there's a Stampin' Up logo. So that's really adorable. I super love mine. I've been wearing it all the time. And then there's the designer series paper that comes in the suite. Now, it's specialty paper, so one side is foiled, and on the flip side, we have patterned. So there's 6 designs, 3 on each side. They're double-sided, so 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And there's 4 of each sheet, which means you can make a lot Usually we only get 2 of each pattern, but we've got 4 of each of these. So if you're using this for Christmas cards, this is great because you have a lot in here. All right, now let's get to the stamping. So I'm going to leave the stamp set out because we're going to be using all of the pieces in the stamp set. Actually, I probably won't use all the words today, but we're going to be using all the important pieces of the stamp set for the 5 different techniques that we're going to be doing today. I have a resource page if you're new to my videos, or if you've been around for a while and just forgot about this, I have a follow along free PDF for you, and it is on the resource page of this video, which I have with every single video. This is to help you. If you're following along, you can stamp along with me, or if you're creating this later and want to go back and check out the video, this free PDF has a link back to the video. It's got all the measurements for the projects that we're using today, as well as all of the supplies that I'm using today. And all of these supplies are available in my online store. The Christmas Rose and the Christmas Time Suite will be available on Friday. Again, I have a special offer kit. It's only available until Thursday, so if you love this, you can go ahead and get that now. Debbie asked a very good question. I'm sorry, I glossed over that. I did say it really quickly, but I glossed over it. The die in the Christmas Rose stamp set does cut out the big rose here. So, and this big rose matches the stamp set. So the die cuts it out, cuts out the designer paper, and it cuts out the stamp set. So versatility all around. Thanks for asking that. So I've got our 5 techniques here on our sheet. We'll follow along. The very first one is going to be outline stamping and coloring in with Stampin Blends. So to do that, I'm going to use my trusty rusty Stamparatus. I'm going to show you how to line this set up on the Stamparatus and how easy this is going to be to make multiple cards. If you have a big Christmas list, you could bang them out so quickly with this set and with the Stamparatus. So I'll show you that piece after. So I've got my cool little carrying case here. The carrying case is available. The Stamparatus also comes with this mat that's in here and 2 cutting plates. You can get additional cutting plates because these are kind of like instead of blocks. So it's nice to have multiples, and it's great that it's double armed, that you can use 2 at once. It also has grid paper. The grid paper doesn't come with it. You can purchase that in my online store, and the good thing about that is you can refill it when you need to. But it all fits handy dandy in my cute little Stamparatus case. The other thing I'm going to be using with the Stamparatus for this card is the Deluxe Mat. Love this. It just came out in the new catalog. So these are the pieces of the Stamparatus, the accessories in the Stamparatus that we're about to use. It's a stamp positioner tool, and it is the bomb diggity. The bomb diggity. Okay. I am setting up and not showing you what I'm doing. Here we go. So first off, we've got our Stamparatus stamp positioning tool here. These pop in and out. These and they're not made to be connected so that we can interchange them and move them around. So there's 2 here. I'm going to use both, and I'm going to use both sides of it. But for the first project, we're going to use 1 stamp. So I'm taking my Deluxe Mat. I am going to use my grid paper, but not yet. I don't need it for this one. And I have pre-cut this piece of paper. Again, those measurements are on that free PDF. And we're going to start with the line art image that's in the stamp set here. So that piece is red rubber. The rest of it's photopolymer, which means you can see through the rest of it. So the first thing I'm going to do here is line this up exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to take one of these, and it really doesn't matter which one of these plates that you start with. And I'm going to attach it. Now, and as you can see, I didn't clean mine very well from the last one. But you know what's beautiful about that? It really doesn't matter. I'll show you why. I'll show you why an unclean stamp is still going to work pretty good. Also, there are magnets here. Yes, the designer paper will be sold separately, so you can replenish it when you run out. There's 2 magnets. I put duct tape on mine because they love to do that, and sometimes they're so strong they break. You can use the magnets to hold your paper down. I'm not going to use them actually on this first section just because we're just stamping once. So I've got black. I'm using Memento black because I'm going to be using the Stampin Blends markers on our first card. So I'm just inking up the stamp, making sure this is tight in my corner here. So that's how I'm using that corner to line everything up. Now, if I had the magnet attached, it wouldn't stick to the stamp, but again, I'm only doing that one. So you can see it doesn't even matter that I had dirty stamp and it had left a mark on the paper, because when I restamped it with the actual stamp, went over the exact same part. All right, I'm going to move Stamparatus out of the way for just a minute. Also, if you have two plates on your Stamparatus, detach one if you're going to store them together. Don't try to force it in here, because they are made to pop in and out, and it will break if you force it like that. So just detach one of them when you go to store it. I'm just moving it to the side for now. And I am going to zoom you in just a little bit so you can see what's happening. Okay, so now we are going to be coloring with Stampin Blends. So I'm going to show you different ways to add color to this Christmas Rose stamp set. And the first one is with the Stampin Blends. Now, I'm a lefty. Actually, I'm going to use that grid paper right now. I'm a lefty, so we're all going to be lefties today. Follow along, lefties unite. So the colors, and these are the same colors that I'm using on every single card in this set, are Rich Razzleberry, Real Red, Old Olive, and Soft Suede. And all of the colors coordinate. So right now I'm using Stampin' Blends. On the next card we're going to be using the ink pads, and all of the colors match together. So the ink pads, the Stampin' Blends, everything. I'm going to start with the rose. I'm going to start with the lighter of the Rich Razzleberries. Oh, thank you. Amy says she loves my nails. I do have to point out we did our breast cancer fundraiser this weekend, so I have my breast cancer ribbon on there. But on Sunday when I go to church, it becomes a Jesus fish. Yeah, but I did have them done in honor of the breast cancer fundraiser, and I want to shout out to everyone who helped and participated in that. We were able to raise almost $8,000 for the American Cancer Society, so that was awesome. Thank you, everybody. Okay, now I found this flower to be kind of big, and when you're using Stampin' Blends, the best part of the blends work best, if I can spit that out, when they're still wet, and that since they're alcohol markers, they dry really fast. So I'm going to just do this in smaller pieces so that it blends the best. And I'm just using Whisper White cardstock, but we are going to use Shimmer White on a different project later. So then I'm blending it in with the lighter, and I'm just layering a little bit of the dark Rich Razzleberry for a really pretty flower there. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same. Again, I'm not going to do the whole flower at once just because it was kind of big. I didn't want anything to dry, but I did do a pretty good section on there. Get that center in there. And I don't know. I just got creative with where I wanted the darker sections to be, to give it a little bit of character there. And then I'm just going to blend in those dark sections that I just added. I am doing a very rough blending job here. You can see some of my other videos for more detailed blends, but today we're just doing basic blending just to add a little oomph to your project. And this is just one of the 5 different ways we're going to be working with this stamp set today, and that's Stampin' Blends. Now, you can use this line art large rose out of this stamp set and watercolor it. You can use the original Stampin' Write markers and color it in. And you can also use Stampin' Blends and ink pads. There's just about any coloring medium you can color this large, beautiful rose in with. So I'm just re-layering just in a couple of spots. But you can see just how easy that and quick that blend went. The blending coloring went. Okay, so that's our large rose. You can keep going layering that if you would like to. You can continue on with that to your little heart's desire. Next, I'm going to show you how to do a leaf. And I use the Old Olive for the leaves. And I'm just going to work with one right now. So I'm going to work with this larger one. So I'm starting again with the lighter of the Stampin' Blends, and then working the darker one for a little bit of shading. Just the bottom, in the bottom part of the leaf where it attaches to the rose there for that. and then blending it again, and I just want it really, really dark right at the base. And that's our leaf. And then we've got pine cones. Pine cones. So I'm using crumb cake for those. We've got, you know what? I'm sorry. I meant soft suede. And, okay, I did grab the right ones. I thought for a minute there I grabbed the crumb cake and I was like, oh, wrong ones. All right, and you can also, these have two tips. They have a brush tip and a nib tip. I'm using the brush tip so far on all of this. However, on a very small piece like I'm going to use with that, the little berries here, I will use the nib tip for those. Okay, so this is how I'm blending the pine cone. Just a couple of layers there of the dark soft suede at the base. Beautiful. There is something, you are so right, Janet, something so soothing about coloring. I totally agree. Now, last but not least are those little berries. So what I did was I have the light real red, and oh my god, I'm using the nib tip. I started with the brush tip, but I want the nib tip, and I also want my readers because I can't see. But that's okay. Hopefully you'll bear with me. Hopefully I'm not leaning into the camera here. So I did the top part in light. So I did these a little bit different. And then the bottom, again with that nib tip because these are tiny. The bottom with the dark real red. And you can go over those if you want to. Okay. So they blend a little bit lighter coming out. They're so tiny it was hard to blend them individually. So that's how I colored, and then I just went around and did the same with all the other leaves and berries that were on that card. And when I was done, through the magic of video, we have this beautiful card, all watercolored. This is what it looked like. So that is technique number 1, adding color. We'll check that off. Technique number 1, adding color using Stampin' Blends, how to use the Stampin' Blends. All right, now, technique number 2 is going to be how to line all of this up on the Stamparatus. So, I lost my card number 2. There it is, okay, sorry. So I've got my Stamparatus, I've got my piece of Whisper White cardstock all cut. Again, same measurements on all of these cards that we're doing today. And we're going to take that same Memento black ink that we used in the first one. Ink that up. I've got this in my corner, in the corner of the Stamparatus, so it's easier to line everything up. Everything just lines right up in the corner there. And ink it up. We're using Whisper White to start with. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys like the colors. I thought they were very pretty, and I wanted to do something a little bit different than what was in the designer series paper. Okay, so far, technique number 2 is exactly the same as technique number 1. We stamped that black outline stamp, but now we're going to take the photopolymer stamps, and we are going to line them up on the Stamparatus and stamp those. And if you want to, this is where you might want to use your magnets to keep it from jumping. Just make sure that it's always up in that corner, just in case it sticks on you. Okay, I'm going to get my glasses for this one just to make sure it'd be very embarrassing if I'm showing you this and I'm not lining up because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so sometimes I do, like if you have a hard time with these photopolymer stamps actually sticking to you while you're trying to line something up, this pointy paper piercer on the Take Your Pick tool is my best friend for keeping those sticky stamps in line. So the flower is going to be in Rich Razzleberry. I'm going to put that plate down, pick up that stamp, and ink it in Rich Razzleberry ink. And we're going to stamp it down. Beautiful, right? Oh my God, I had a little piece of paper stuck in there. Oopsie. Whatevs. You get it. Okay, no. If you were assembly line stamping, which I'll show you in a minute, you're just going to keep going with, you're going to keep doing all your outlines at once, all of your insides at once. But since I'm just going to demonstrate this, I'm doing one. Here is another Stamparatus tip for you, and this one came from Linda Cullen. This is Simple Chamois. Simple Chamois is the a stamp cleaner. I keep it stored in my in an empty stamp case. Now Linda showed us this on a Stamp and Scoop show. She cut it in half to use with the Stamparatus, and I thought, oh my God, that's genius. So we're going to take half of Simple Chamois and just wipe that down, since we're moving on to the next step, because I'm going to use both sides of these plates. And when I flip over to the other side, I don't want my fingers to get inky. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to line up our leaves. If I can find where I just put, there we go. If I can find where I just put the stamp set down. Okay, so it's the leaves and the brush from the branches are together in here. Let's see. There's 3 pieces that go together, and I found it was really easy to use to line up this piece first because it had 3 leaves together, and that's right down here at the bottom. Don't worry about making it perfect until you got everybody on the board. I'm going to put all 3 of these down at once. You're going to die when you see how easy this is. Because once you get this lined up, we're going to make all the rest of the cards with what we're doing right now. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and flip this board over because we still have our rose. I'm not moving the rose though. I'm not taking that off because we're going to use it again. I'm flipping this over. So we have a blank side here to work with. Now I'm going to line this up. And this is the beauty of this being photopolymer, of these pieces being photopolymer, is that you can see right through them so that you can line them up exactly how you want them. Again, I'm using that take your pick tool to make sure that, because my finger, watch, when I go to do something and I put it down, when I touch it with my finger, it moves. So what I'll do is I just kind of put it in place and then hold it down with that paper piercer to keep it from moving. Everybody looks like it's lined up really good here. Again, if you were making 50 of these, you only have to do this part once, rather than trying to line everything up. So now I'm going to close the plate on that. If you don't mind, I'm not going to use the magnets today. They're not my friends. I prefer just to line everything up in the corner and not use them. I'm using Old Olive. I'm going to ink up the leaves. And now we've got all of our leaves all in one, just one little, right? Great, right? Then we're going to take that half a chamois, wipe down our green, because we're going to continue on using these same plates again and don't want to get our fingers inky. All right, next up, I'm twisting, and it doesn't matter which plates you use. If you want to do rose on top, you know, berries and branches on the side, however you choose to do it is fine. The last one I'm going to line up here is these berries. So there's 4 berries and a pine cone. The pine cone we're going to do a little different. So I'm just going to lay them down where they line up here. Did you guys know that's what these were, berries? In that set, did you think they were like background accents? Because when I first saw this set, that's exactly what I thought they were. I did not realize that they were berries, and I did not realize all of these pieces. I didn't realize they all fit inside that one flower. That makes it pretty freaking awesome, right? So now, okay. I'm reneging on what I said on the magnet. I'm putting it back. All right, just for this lining up part. So what I'm doing right here is I'm lining up the berries, because you think to yourself, oh my gosh, am I going to color in every single one of those berries? Why? Why? When you can do this. This is so much fun. I mean, you could color in every single one of those berries. Don't get me wrong, they do look beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to take that plate. Once everything's lined up, pick up those pieces, all 4 at once. Now I'm taking that magnet off again. And we are using Real Red this time. Real Red inks up every single one of those berries at one time, so 4 stamps at once. And when we're done, see how easy that is? It's awesome, right? Now the last step, the Pinecone, I'm not using the Stamparatus for that. I'm just going to wipe this off because we are going to use these pieces again. So quick clean, just so that we don't get inky fingers. Now the Pinecone I attached with a block, and the reason why I did that is because there's actually 1 Pinecone stamp, and there's 3 different Pinecones on here. So it would have been a little bit more difficult to move the paper around to get that to line up. So I'm going to use some soft suede on that. Got a lot of wows on this. And you know what? This is only technique 2 of 5. Wait till you see the rest of them. If you think this is freaking amazing, oh my gosh, you guys, prepare for your minds to be blown. This really is the coolest stamp set ever. Okay, so we have our stamping. This is technique 2, and that is 2-step stamping to add color to your stamp, and the Stamparatus to do multiple stamps at once. And here's our finished card, and that is full on color. I'll hold it down there so you can see it a little better. Full on color right there. So next, exact same thing, except we're going to stamp off once and make this a shade, make the rich raspberry a shade lighter. So first things first, I don't have to do anything to the Stamparatus. It's already lined up. It's all ready to go. So I'm going to put a piece of paper in there again. Ink up this outline. Okay, now, remember I said we don't have to do any more lining up? This is, where do you see this? Okay, so this is already lined up. I'm just going to take this out. We're going to put in a piece of grid paper here. And go ahead and ink that up with the rich raspberry. So I'm going to stamp this off once on some scrap paper. So I'm just going to stamp that down on the scrap paper. Well, if it's not a nice even stamp, I might even tap it again. So we have a nice even stamp, and that's a beautiful piece of scrap paper there that we're just going to move aside. We're going to put that paper right back in there. Bammo. It's a shade lighter, and it was already lined up. So that what that means is, look at how quick and easy this goes. I'm going to go ahead and swap that over. Add some mold olive to our leaves and branches. Because we have these plates, do you see how quick and easy this is going? Because we have these plates already lined up, all we need to do is put our cardstock right in the corner and everything, right? Tina says, mind blown. Seriously. But wait, it gets better. Boom. All right, now here's something. Do you see that these little berries on the edge got missed? Just put that right back in. Another beautiful thing about the Stamparatus, because it's all lined up, if your berries get missed, you can just put that right back in there and you can get them stamped. Okay, if you missed the beginning, you're definitely going to want to go back. We are already on technique 2, which is adding color. So I've just done full-on color, and I've just done a stamped off version of that same exact stamp. Well, let's see if I can find it. Okay. And now, this is the finished card for our stamped off version. So we have one full on, one stamped off. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But wait, there's more. Do you see how do you see how this little chamois rocks my world right here? Okay. Now you're saying to yourself, I love it, but I don't know, do I really have to clean it in between each step? How many Christmas cards or holiday cards do you guys think you're going to make? 50, 25, 100? Let me show you. Let me rock your world one more time. We've got everybody all lined up here. I'm just going to do, let's see, we've got 4 here. I'm going to do 4. But pretend they're 100. Ready, set, go. Ink up. Outline. Outline. Yes, swap cards. Those of you who make swap cards, you need this, right? Do you see how quickly? Oh, missed a spot. Hold on. Put it right back down again. Boom, fixed. Okay, so we got 4. Pretend they're 100. 4 cards. Outlines are already stamped. How long would that have taken you if you were stamping? It might have taken you, like, you know, a few more minutes than that, right? For our first one. But if you didn't have the Stamparatus and you were using actual stamping blocks, these stamping blocks, for every single one of these leaves and berries, and for this portion, lining up each time, how long would that take you? We'll just go full on rich raspberry. There's one. So you see, I'm not cleaning it in between each one because I'm going to say, I'm doing 4, but say I'm doing 100 of this. I'm doing them all at once. And then when I'm done, then I clean it off and move to the next step. All right. See how quick that's going? One more. Now I'll clean this off, and then I'll move on to the next step, which is old olive leaves. Are you guys timing me? Seriously, yeah, you're right. If you were using the blocks to stamp all these pieces, just make sure it's in the corner, so because we already know it's lined up to the corner. This would take forever. But I think you could get 50 of these cards done in record time. I know I just got a mark on that, but that's okay. I'm really just doing this for demonstration purposes. Just make sure that, like, this one was not lined up to the corner. See it? And that's the one thing you need to make sure, like, I'm going really fast, so I'm not paying attention. Do make sure that you're lined up to the corner. Yeah, I'm magical card maker today. No, I wasn't joking. I wasn't joking when I said one coolest stamp set ever, and I'm going to blow your mind today, and I'm not done. I'm not done. So we are using, if you're coming in late, the Christmas Rose. I'm just showing assembly stamping. Say I had 25 cards I was making, I would stamp all outlines, all of the rich raspberry, all of the leaves all at once, and then in the end I would assemble and do all the other pieces. So you get the idea on that, right? we're going to move on to the next one. And that is, and you know what? At the end of this, I even have I have card ideas to share with you with this Christmas Time is Here suite. I have a bunch of cards here to share with you of different ideas. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to show you how to do exactly what we just did, but we're going to watercolor on these stamps. So if you're just tuning in now, you want to go back and watch the beginning, I pre-stamped this. I mean, we just pretty much did 4 of these in a row, so I think you get the idea. So pre-stamp this one. Now I'm going to do a simple, this is a very simple watercoloring technique. Just using an aqua painter and the ink that I've already applied. So the aqua painter, it's just like a little paintbrush. It's got, you can put water, you can put anything in it. I'll test that out on my scrap paper. And then I'm going to take it and then just watercolor the inside of the flower, and it's really going to soften it up, give it more of a watercolor look, but a simple watercolor look. And then you can do the same thing with the leaves. Just want to wipe it off in between each color so you don't mix one color into the other. So this is just a very, very simple watercoloring. This is technique number 3, using the stamps to watercolor with. So if you tuned in late, this is where we are, and you're going to want to go back. So we have done assembly line stamping. We've stamped off to produce a lighter color, and we've added color. Boom. Now we are here on technique number 3, and I just used Whisper White, and I just used an aqua painter to soften that up. Karen is asking, can you do that even though it sits a bit? I stamped this particular one yesterday, so yes, it doesn't matter. Now, I am going to do the same thing. However, this one I stamped on shimmer white cardstock. It's a little nicer to watercolor with. It's got a little shimmer. I don't know that the camera's picking that up, but you can take my word for it. It's beautiful. So I'm just going to take that aqua painter and I'm going to paint. And again, I did stamp this yesterday, so if you're wondering if you can do it after it's been sitting, yes, you can. So right now I'm just pulling that rich raspberry color to soften that up a bit. So you can see the difference in the watercoloring between the shimmer white cardstock and the Whisper White cardstock. See, the shimmer white really, really holds the color. It's dark and it's rich. And when it's done and you put that together, you have a very beautiful, this one is done on Whisper White here, and you add it to your card. It's very beautiful. Okay, as promised, it's time to blow your mind again. Bringing the Stamparatus back. Now, I know I said this, and maybe some of you caught it, and maybe you said, what? When I showed you this stamp set originally, I showed you the different, there's an outline stamp in red rubber, there's inside pieces that are photopolymer, and I said you can use them together, or you can use them apart, right? And you probably thought, well, yeah, I'd use that outline stamp, and I'd color that in, absolutely, but what on earth would I do with these stamps? Like, how would I use those separately? Insert evil laugh. Here it comes. Same piece of Whisper White cardstock. Same setup. I have not changed the setup on the Stamparatus. And what that means is if you came in late, you're going to want to go back to the beginning and catch technique number 2. So Stamparatus already set up. This time, I'm starting with the rose. And this now is technique number 4. Okay, so I'm just going to show you, when I stamped that, I missed a little piece here, so I'm just putting it back down to catch that. Again, another beautiful thing about the Stamparatus, don't have to worry about lining it up because it's already lined up. So I'm just going to we are going to use both sides of this plate, so I just want to wipe that down so I don't get inky fingers. And we're going to take that old olive ink pad and we're going to ink up these leaves that were already lined up previously to go inside that this outline stamp, but we're not using it inside the outline stamp. Watch this. Are you ready for this? Oh my God, right? How beautiful is this? Seriously, no line stamping right here. I'm just going to clean that off real quick. Now I'm flipping this over so we have the berries next in real red. This is Christmas Rose from the Christmas Time is Here suite, if you're popping in late. This is a foam insert, Karen. I'm sorry if you came in late. So for those of you who came in late, I am using the Deluxe foam insert that is available separately from the Stamparatus. I highly recommend it. It makes corner stamping very easy. So now we have our berries. Oh, but wait. We're going to take that Pinecone stamp and we're going to fit that right in the pieces here that I'm going to try to do this without my glasses for you guys. Okay, so I've got soft suede. Again, same everything that I'm doing today. Same colors, same layout. So now I've just stamped the pine cone, and he actually has a little outline there. The pine cone does of where he fits in some of this. And then when we're done, we have our card, our full card, and it's no line. Very soft look here. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, so, but wait, we're not done there. So how about if we did this in a different color? How about if we did this in, say, Night of Navy and Seaside Spray and Pear Pizzazz? And now with a lighter flower on the inside, I can stamp words in there. And I'm using some of this is pretty peacock foil on the background here. Simple, beautiful. Oh, but wait. What if I wanted to do something a little bit different? How about if I stamped that exact same thing, but instead of stamping the berries, how about if I took some of these red rhinestones and put a couple of those on there? I don't know if you guys can see. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see this. There are little dots here where the berries stamp into. So I'm just taking the rhinestones and filling in those dots. I'm using the Take Your Pick tool because it rocks. Rocks on the dots. And then you have your finished card and you have beautiful rhinestones. So stepping it up a little bit, you can do there with, you can keep it flat, you can keep it simple, or step it up. Some red rhinestones in there. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so that is no line stamping. You know what? I know I said 5 techniques and that was like 20. So we did 3, we did 4, we added bling, and now for the last one, before I show you some card samples. Now this time, and I'm just going to move the Stamparatus. You guys get the idea with the Stamparatus, right? You see how beautiful this goes, how this was made to work with that, and all the different things that you can do. Okay. And how you can use that to make your Christmas card assembly line go. All right. So I have pre-stamped, and one's darker and one's lighter, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with here. I'm just going to kind of wing it. I've pre-stamped these. Going to take that aqua painter and soften them up just a little bit. What do you guys? I think the lighter one. Okay, so I'm going to go with the darker one. I know you guys are like, I don't know what you're doing, so I don't know which one to choose. I'm going to take some paper snips. Now, just pretend I watercolored everything here. I am going to trim out just the inside of this flower. See, told you it was the coolest thing ever, didn't I, Julia? She's like, I got to get this now. Don't forget, I have a special offer, but only until Thursday on the bundle and another class, showing even more tips and tricks on how to use this awesome set and sweet. Okay, that's just a rough idea here of cutting this up. So then I'm going to take some rich raspberry and a sponge dauber. Pretend this is dry. We're just going to sponge around the edges here and give it a little depth. Just one more way of adding some color there. And then we're going to line it up on our stamp and attach it to the center of the rose. But rather than just attach it flat, I'm going to attach it with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh, Donna, she's coming in late. You definitely need to rewind. But wait until we're done. You're watching the finale. This is technique number 5. Okay, so let's line it up. There we go. So this gives it pop. And I would probably cut out this smaller one too, say if I was going to do that, but just in the interest of time. And then let us cut out some pieces from this beautiful die set that we haven't used yet. So we're stepping things up. I've been showing you pretty simple classic cards until now. So this is the die set. I showed it at the beginning. So I've cut this piece and 2 of this label. And the label, I cut in white and I cut in, I actually, you know what, I'm doing this on Whisper White, but I prefer it on Shimmer White. I also cut it in copper. So we're going to take, you know what, I guess I would switch this to gold because I brought the gold delicata down, and I understand the copper is sold out. But this gold delicata you can get free in my kit, just saying, only available till Thursday. This is very cool metallic ink. Now, I told you this was good for more than just Christmas, and this is not a Christmas stamp. It says, here's to celebrating you. And that comes from Perennial Birthday. Hey, you know what? Can't tie me down in a box. Seriously, we are going outside the box and having some fun with this. It will make great Christmas cards, but it goes so beyond Christmas. So I've got that stamped. I'm going to take this. I had punched out the label in the copper, and I think I could just cut that right in half. The die set. Jean, you know what, Jeannie? If you came in late, pop back over and rewind as soon as this ends. That is the Roses die set that coordinates with the Christmas Rose that I am using. Stupid nails that I'm using on this entire card set. And you can click on the resource page. Oh my gosh. I cannot get this tag to come up. You can click on over to the resource page in the video's description to see all of the products that I'm using there, as well as more information. Okay, so I'm putting some snail on the back of the tag that we just cut in half. And I'm going to line that up. If you have nails, you need this. Take your big tool. It's not a I want, it's an I need. So I just cut that in half and lined it up so that we've got copper on either side of that tag. And then I would put it all together and get this beautiful stepped up version of this card. So what I've done here is I've cut out the top, sponged the edges of the 2 roses, and then attached that tag that we just made over the gold. It's kind of like a lattice piece here. And so that is our stepped up version. And one more thing that I would add to all of my cards at Christmas time, during the holidays, and you know what, any other time too, is some Shimmer Mist spray. So I've got some, this is shimmer paint, Champagne Shimmer Mist paint. I put rubbing alcohol in this Stampin' Spritzer, and maybe 2 or 3 drops. I'm not really all that, I don't measure it. I just kind of pour in 2 or 3 drops and shake it up. And then one of these that we did previously. Just shake that up, spritz it. And when you're done, it takes a minute to dry. That takes a minute to dry, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but it's sparkly, and it smells like a doctor's office because it's alcohol. Rubbing alcohol. Anywho, so you can actually, I've done that on a lot of my other videos, so you can catch that shimmer mist trick on some of my other videos if you want to actually see me pour the paint into the spritzer. However, I think it's time to check out some more ideas with this Christmas Time is Here suite. These are from a swap that I just held, Demonstrator pre-order swap. So there's a variety of different things in here, and you can get some different ideas on how to use this suite. And if you're tuning in late, pop back to the beginning to check out the suite, or click on the link in this video's description, and you'll see it on my blog as well. This here, this is watercolored. It's embossed in gold. The rose is embossed in gold on the top and bottom and watercolored. Watercolored or blends? Let's see what she says here. I'm sorry, my bad. Those are blends. Stampin' Blends like we just did on technique number 2. Now here's a couple that have cut out designer paper for their rose. Here's another one here. So they cut out from the designer series paper these roses and layered them on the card. And this gold foil checked background is also in that designer series paper pack. And this one right here has a fun folds. This one is actually a pop-up easel card. How cool is that? We might have to do one of those, right? Fun. Very cool. And then here we've got just the words from the stamp set and designer paper, and there's some bottom edging as well as the lattice that I showed you, showing these ornamental accents on the side here. I don't know if you can see them too well in the video, but they're very, very pretty. Now here, this is a fun one. She took designer paper, cut out the rose using the die, because the die matches that large rose on the designer paper, and made it a window. That's neat. And there it is again. That die does match. The die does match the designer paper, this large rose on the designer paper. And then here's one more showcasing designer paper with a little bit of lattice and some gold foil. So those are some more ideas. I have just a couple more, and these are part of my card class kit, which you can get the information on that by clicking on the link in the video's description in the resource page, or going to stampwithtami.com. These are the cards in my class. They are all gold foil, and they come with envelopes, but they come with the products too, so you can make everything else that we just made today with the products that you get and all the things that you see. But wait, there's more than just 4 cards, right? The kit makes 5 of each card, and then if you got some more note cards and envelopes, you could just keep on going forever, right? So it's a great deal. You can check that out on my blog. That is the Christmas. This is a free bonus to that kit too. This is a gold pizza box. Super cute, right? All right, so that there is our class for today. I hope you've enjoyed all of these tips and techniques, both for the Stamparatus and for this Christmas Rose stamp set. And I hope you have a lot of fun playing with it. Thanks for joining me today.